Welcome back, Pirate Crew. It's your captain, Yeehaw Yadam, being joined today by support animal Yeti. So today we got another gameplay commentary video with you guys where I'm going to be going and showcasing the blue-purple Crocodile, which I know is a fan favorite deck, versus Kaido. I know we've seen this matchup in the past, but originally it was like the first iteration of blue-purple Crocodile, and since then it's been more and more refined. This list is actually being piloted by my buddy Jonathan Rodriguez, and the Kaido player is actually my little brother, Jonathan Conde. So we got the Jonathan versus Jonathan show off here. It's going to be fantastic. So let's get right into the gameplay, guys. I don't even have to speed this video up. It was a nice, quick 15-minute game. Both players playing pretty quickly, so you gotta love to see that. Oh, let's get it. So we got the classic pass into checking the deck box for Dawn. So we'll go ahead and deploy the 2 Dawn. Ba-ba-dee-ba-bum. And most of these decks, they really do, they start off a little slow, and it's fine. So we're doing the classic. He's gaining the Dawn. He's attacking for 5, and Oni is assumed to be played. This is why this video is 15 minutes, because they're just playing fast. This was a friendly game, but I did think it was a very good game that showcased off both decks. So we'll go ahead and already place one on the Croc, swinging 6, which is really nice. Already triggering hero ability, right? Plus also attacking for a very formidable number. So it goes ahead and fields the Bon Crate. Now, Bon Crate, we know he's a 4K. He searches for Desert Spada, and I believe the Baroque Work card in specific. So he does have a couple triggers. So with 1 Dawn, he can become a threat. My brother goes into the Queen, which wasn't necessarily like the 6-drop King. The 6-drop King is like the card you really want to curve out here and use your full Dawn. And he dumps a 2K. I'm not entirely sure how correct that is, but certainly his hand must look bananas if he's doing that. And we're going to go ahead and attack for 5, choosing to keep one up for whatever ungodly reason. And then I'm assuming this is going to be a turn passer. So that's going to go ahead and pitch a 2K from the Crocodile's hand. In my opinion, this was always going to get a 2K, whether it be a Desert Spada because there's already 1 Dawn under the Croc to trigger its effect, or if it was going to trigger a 2K from hand. So no matter what, a 5 or a 6 I think was equivalent in this state. But the Queen does stop the Bon Crate from really getting in there. So we'll go 6 at face here, which eats another old man. Then we're going to go ahead and field for 5. I believe that is the 5-drop starter deck Croc. Put some respect on the Croc, dude. That card is awesome. Then we're going to go all the way up. I believe this turn we're at like 9 Dawn if we've played this correctly. We got only 1 minus and we've gained 1. So he's going here. I don't think he's ever played against the Croc, the Crocinator. So he's going to go ahead and read it. And just for those of you that don't know, Dawn ×1 when on block bottom deck a card of 2 cost or lower to the bottom of the deck is a 6K no counter power blocker. I think that should really cover it. It has Queen stats just without counter, but with a more defensive ability. So we're going to go 7 at face. This is good. 7 will choose to take a damage here because there's just too much. So he's going to go ahead and then Brachio the Croc. And honestly, this Croc always eats something. If it doesn't eat a Jet Pistol, it eats a Brachio Bomber every day of the week, which we're kind of okay with. Not fantastic because our deck doesn't really have many Brachio Bomber targets. Most of the targets in our deck are 7 and above, like the big important cards, but he does seem to have another Croc, so we're just going to Croc it up. We've already 6'd at the face, we ate another 2K, and then we deploy another Crocodile. So now this Crocodile, even though he had a Brachio Bomber, he should be eating here a 9-drop, right? The 9-drop should be the main course, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and tap 5. We'll tap the Oni to mitigate the Dawn -1. We'll then draw 2 and then decide what we want to go ahead and discard. If you're truly a good purple player, or if you're a real purple player, you discard another Onigashima right here. There's no better true combo than Queen into dump Oni. So we'll dump another 2K, and what the heck is my brother's hand for this to be happening? But respect, we still have 5 more Dawn available. Certainly, we'll attack for 5. Which is not terrible. Again, 5 is equal to a specific number, so he blocks with the Croc. By blocking with the Croc, we can choose to try and attack the Croc, but by keeping 2 Dawn up, the Crocodile player is very, very safe, right? So he's going to go ahead and play the Drake, and we're going to -1 here. Drake is going to go ahead and remove a card from the hand, and not going to lie, Jonathan's hand's looking fantastic, but he gets to dump the Love Beam. He has the Miss All Sunday, so the Miss All Sunday is just going to be like, fine, I'll just grab it back. Doesn't really lose anything for doing that, and it was a very solid block by Jonathan. I mean, they're both Jonathan. I guess left Jonathan. So attach one to the Croc. That Dawn basically stays for the rest of the game. It's really, really nice. And we have the Baroque Work. So the Baroque Work is going to go ahead and allow us to get a lot of advantage this turn, which is really nice. So he goes for 6. And does he choose to take this, right? That's the big question for the purple player. Obviously, he's been flooded on the 2Ks, it seems. And he still seems to have more Drakes in hand. He's probably going to summon Drakes over and over just to get cards that apply pressure onto the board. He adds a Babanuki from the life, which is a pretty solid Babanuki into an X-Drake next turn. Is going to be a good turn, I believe. So he's going to go 6 at face. And then 6 should eat a 2K. But he doesn't really want to lose this Drake, which is crazy. So he could block with a Queen, which I don't think that's necessarily wrong, and then pitch a card. And he does have a bunch of dead cards in hand, such as King and stuff, so he's going to go ahead and dump the Black Maria, which I'm okay with, because we want to see a Babanuki played. So we have to take the time here to field the Crocodile. We'll put a Dawn under the Crocodile, and then we'll play Baroque Work for free. That'll then trigger, we need to resolve our event first, so we'll add a Desert Spada, and then we will trigger our leader ability to draw a card. And look at all that beautiful advantage that we got for free. Very nice. And we'll pass the turn here. And now we have a Banish 7K on the board, which is very difficult. He's pseudo 8K because there's always a Dawn under him. Very hard to defend. So that card eats a Blast Breath or it eats a life. It's very tough. So let's see how my brother wants to play this, right? Because if it eats it's hard not to leave a Blast Breath up here, right? Because you don't want to go Babanuki X-Drake anymore. You want to go something that leaves a Blast Breath. He did top deck a 9-drop here, so I do see the 9-drop being a nice possibility. I'm going to go 5 at face, choosing to remove cards from hand first, right? So we'll go 5 at face. We'll go 5 at face. Again, these low numbers are really nice, but we know that the 5 at face is just going to eat the Spada that was just added. He chooses to bottom deck off the Spada, then triggering the Crocodile's effect to draw a card, right? Or did he forget? I guess it's optional, so he's choosing not to draw currently, I guess. It's fine. But Spada for free, 2K counter for free that looks at the top of your deck and draws you a card is insane. Best 2K counter in the game, huh? So we'll go ahead and see a 9-drop be fielded here. And I believe this 9-drop has to destroy the Crocodile. So we'll go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Oni to mitigate the other burn. Yeah, he's going to tap it just to make sure. And then he needs to destroy the Croc, right? You know you can't kill this Croc with 1 Dawn up, which is the crazy part, right? Yeah. It has to be. The Bon Clay, even if you want to get like the double dip, which is like destroy Bon Clay, attack the Bon Clay with the 10-drop. I mean, attack the Crocodile with the 10-drop. You know that a Love Beam plus a card is going to stop that. And then you're going to have to commit board state, which is exactly what the opponent wants you to do. So you're just going to go ahead and destroy the Croc. The Bon Clay is not a real card. So we're going to go ahead and Love Beam, draw a card, and then draw a card for leader, and then pitch, which is really, really solid. We're finally starting to get some advantage. These queens haven't turned sideways, which is kind of weird, but that's fine. And now we're just going to see the pain train a-rollin', right? He has a law as well as that, so we'll go 6 on 5. My brother does have the advantage here. It's a very interesting no counter there. This is going to have to eat a Blast Breath. Yeah, that Blast Breath has to go, buddy. You cannot afford to get this banished. Yeah. Then that's the problem with Crocodile. I mean the 7-drop Crocodile. That's so oppressive. He can go ahead and leave Dawn up here, but most probably he's going to go ahead and field a Sunday. This is where Sunday really shines. So he's going to go ahead and Bon Clay for a 7, which is a really nice number total. Add the Desert Spada. That's going to go ahead and fetch a life finally. And then he's going to go Sunday plus 1 drop. Leave 1 up. So he has enough for Love Beam and the Spada that was just added. So he's presenting 2 very powerful events, and you have to be aware of that. Very solid turn. And then we're just going to go ahead and see this guy, which is the nice bridge after you 9-drop, right? Because you go right back to 7 because of the Blast Breath, and then you can go ahead and use this guy to go ahead and dump the Sunday and destroy the Law. So we go ahead and do those. Then we're going to go 9-drop into... I'm assuming the Crocodile, but it was defended by a Love Beam. We already added a Love to hand, so we were aware of that. I'm a little confused on that. Got a double draw there. He goes 5 at 4. Chooses not to defend this anymore because this is not the card that we need to defend. And then he goes and passes the turn. Again, these queens are really not getting any value. And I guess my biggest takeaway from this game for Jonathan is maybe turn your queens sideways a little bit, brother. They're not just blockers, and even if they are just blockers, you really haven't blocked with them. You haven't really gained value off of them. So he's going to go... What? He's going to swing for 6, and then block, do that, and then he's going to go for... And here's the issue with this Crocodile, right? He's just going to go ahead, and we're going to lose that. He's going to now field double Croc And then if we place the Dawn, this is the beautiful game state that we want to be in. We put the Dawn under the Croc, and now basically all of the spells in our deck are free. We have become free. So we'll go ahead and gain the 2 Dawn that we lost off of the hot level 7, or the hot 7 cost. But we actually only lost once. We're on +1 this turn, so we should be at 8. Yep. So at 8 Dawn, we still can't 9-drop, and we still have these 2 obnoxious Crocodiles. And we can't just keep dumping blockers. We've lost 2 Black Marias to pitch for effects, and now we don't really have any 1Ks. We've kept this Babanuki for God knows what reason, if we haven't fielded it a single time, right? So if we're holding the Babanuki as the 1K and dumping the Black Maria, I don't think we're doing the correct gameplay, especially if you're playing as defensive as my brother has been. So Riley has an applied pressure with these humongous cards that he has on board. He does have 3 characters. He has the Queen, the King, and the Kaido, right? He also still has Kaido ability available to him, which is very powerful against these blue-purple decks that really have to lay onto the events. So let's go ahead and see what he tries to think about on this turn. He'll go 9. This is above a Spada, so he chooses not to counter a 9, which is very interesting. The 10 will certainly eat some counter. He takes it. So is he baiting the -7? I mean, certainly you can never go for lethal here, right? You have to go lethal over a couple of turns. Can't do it right here. But the fact that you were able to get 2 damage in, broken. And it seems like he has a couple of big boys in his hand. It seems like he has a Brachio Bomber that's just rotting alongside an X-Drake. Oh, he chooses to play the Drake as opposed to something else. So we'll go ahead Drake, only to mitigate the minus. And then we're going to go ahead and have to pitch a card. It looks like maybe this forehead has to go. He's just too big. I don't think we have time. He's not going to win you the game. He's going to go 5 face, which is going to eat a Spada for free. Look at the top 3. We'll go ahead and put Queen to the top. Looks good to me. And we don't draw. I think we have too many cards in hand to trigger our Crocodile effect. 3, 4, yeah. And then pass the turn right back to the Blurple. Yeah, but he's so defensive. He's saving up these very powerful event cards for a very solid turn. He also has Sobbles in his hand. Sobbles can do a lot of work. We'll go ahead and tap 1 for Law. Not bad. Then if we can Sobbles away this Queen potentially. We'll go actually and deploy the Doflamingo. We're going to use his on-play effect to look at the top 5. The other cards didn't seem very important, but we saw an All Sunday, and we also see a Desert Spada, which are the more important cards. So we'll go ahead and put those to the top, right? We won't be able to add the All Sunday here, but if we Love Beam, we'll get to the Sunday, and then we have a Sunday for next one, which will add us the Love Beam, which will then we can bottom deck the rest of the cards off of the next Flamingo. So that's very, very solid. Because the rest of them, Teach, Boncre, really aren't going to do much here. And he chooses not to attack this turn. So he's going to go ahead and fetch. Oh. Okay, and he puts 1. He goes 8, and he forgot about the banish, and that's a huge banish. Another 9-drop would have been insane here. Right, this was the power of, I'm assuming Sobbles got played. Yeah, he went Sobbles and then Sobbles and went for life. Sobbled away the Queen, and that's a really nice play. We're going to banish this as well. And then we'll go 7. We'll go 2, 1. And yeah, this Babanuki really just stayed in the hand for fun, right? XD. So he is at 0 cards active. And just 1. He has 2 blockers, which is kind of a problem. Certainly not many ways that we can get this. We'll Brachio the Flamingo. I think Brachio and the Flamingo in the Law is pretty equivalent. They're the same card. Then we'll go ahead and -7. So we'll lose a Dawn here. Go ahead and trigger the effect of the Oni to gain it back. But theoretically, we only have 3 Dawn available to us this turn. And we'll go 7. It's just, there's no good amount of numbers here that really do it right. It's just because of those double Crocodiles making his events free, and we are aware that he has a Love Beam. My brother should be aware that he has a Love Beam, so you have to push through a 9. I don't think you attach anything to anyone. You just 5 it, 7, and then show me a 13. I think is the best way to go about it. No. So we'll then double draw the Sunday plus the Spada. Do not attach this. Do not attach this. No. Right, I think I'm going to have to take a pause and look at his hand at at one point in time to see what could have done. We'll go 8. 8 is another weird number. We'll go double 2k, and then he'll go 10k at face, but the 10k is just going to get stopped by the law, right? So the law actually being super duper powerful, and the game actually ends here. I forgot about the law. But yeah, the 10k was always going to get fielded by that. And as long as he was able to block, you know, some assortment of cards, then he was done for. So it is tough. Let's see if we can go back to rewind. We know he has Sunday and Spada. And let's start the start of the turn was Love Love Beam, Double Bond, Clay. So if all the cards available to us are Love Love Beam, Double Bond, and then Spada and all Sunday, which are the cards that we're going to get to. So if we go 5-5, the 10 doesn't matter because the 10 is always getting blocked. Man, the double blocker is super strong. But I guess we go 5-5. We put the 3-10-10. Can 5-5-10-10 get there? Because a 5 will bait out the first thing that he pitched. Let's see if we can get back to it before he does this play. Because this is like the final turn of the game. See if we can get there. Start at the beginning of the turn when we have the Flamingo. Right. So we'll go here. The Brachio Bomber is coming down, and it's absolutely fine. Doesn't matter what it hits, whether it be the Flamingo or the Law, it's the same outcome will happen. Then he minuses the 7. Again, it doesn't matter if we Oni or don't Oni. This is the final turn of the game. Let's see if we can... So he initially tries to go for 2. Yeah. He has a Queen as well. There's a 1k in hand as well. My goodness. It's really tough, actually. Can he defend the 5-5-10-10? Yeah. So the 5 will get a Queen out of his hand. Then he 5s again. It'll get a 2k out of his hand. Then he has Love Love Beam 2k. So you go 10, which will then go to 11. Add Miss All Sunday plus 7. Then you go 10 again. And it's still... Yeah, it doesn't seem like there was any form of lethal for him there. The double blocker really stopped the game. I think the only way he could have found lethal was to Gav a 7-drop instead of Brachio Bomber. He 7-drops, kills both of the blockers, and then he certainly has lethal because there will be a 10k that sneaks in there, or a 13 even. He goes 5-5, 7, 13 should go all the way. But that is going to be the end of the game. And as you can see, very close game, really interesting match. At the end of the day, Blue Purple Crocodile was able to take it. Jonathan swears that Blue Purple Crocodile has an easy matchup versus Kaido. I still don't see it because being 4 versus a card that says Destroy a Life, basically starting at 3 versus a 5er with such big cards. But he says he's able to control it very, very well. Unfortunately, Jonathan, my brother, didn't see any 10-drop Kaidos, which is like the tempo god. Had he 10-dropped the double Crocodile, it'd be a very different game, right? Because those Crocodiles are impossible to interact with because they're 7s, your cards cannot destroy them, as well as you cannot destroy them by battle because they're so easily defended by your array of Love Love Beams, Desert Spadas, and so on and so forth. So they become kind of like fully stuck on the board, and the Banish effect really is going to take away all of your tempo from hand. So the only way to truly regain it is by 10-dropping. Unfortunately, I think we do play 4 10-drops in this list, and he did not see a single one. But that's just the way the game goes, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this gameplay commentary. I hope you learned something. If you did, make sure to leave a like down below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, put it in the comments. We'll talk about it. And as always, make sure to check out my buddy Jonathan's channel, Rodriguez, at youtube.com/LosFiends if you want to see more of the gameplay commentary. I'm not going to be doing a deck profile on this version of the Blue Purple Crocodile because it's going to be on their channel, and I'm going to link it in the description down below. And as always, guys, if you have not joined the Pirate Crew just yet and you're enjoying the content that we're bringing out here, make sure to leave that subscribe button. It truly makes a world of difference. So I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.